The Barbados Defense Force assuring Barbadians of its commitment to their security. The central bank governor identifies additional economic pillars to enhance growth. And in sports, India take a 1-0 lead in the ODI series against the Windies.
Broadcasting from our studios in the Pine St. Michael, this is CBC Newsnight, starting now.
This segment of Weekend Newsnight brought to you by Sagicor, wise financial thinking for life.
Very good evening. I'm Lisa Broom, and in our news tonight, as it celebrates 40 years of service, the Barbados Defense Force has pledged to remain committed to safeguarding the country. And this from Chief of Staff Colonel Glenn Granham during the BDF's anniversary church service at the St. Matthias Anglican Church this morning. The service was held under the patronage of Governor General Dame Sandra Mason and many government ministers, including Attorney General and Legal Affairs Minister Dale Marshall. Colonel Granham says the force will continue to work with its local, regional and international partners as it endeavors to ensure public safety.
We shall remain committed to fulfill our mission to defend and secure Barbados' interests, including that of public safety and including that of our neighbors in the Caribbean. We will remain a united force, working towards one vision. With hearts courageous, scorning defeat, we can stand together and we can do what we are called to do and what we must do on a journey to help build the best Barbados we can together.
The Chief of Staff reminded the BDF personnel of the importance of spirituality as they go about their duties.
Services such as this and the ones held at other anniversaries for the Barbados Cadet Corps, the Barbados Regiment, and the Barbados Coast Guard, and even our weekly smaller services held at the 3 bases across the Defense Forces compounds are part of an active and collective spirituality, a public demonstration of acts of holding God's hands and of holding each other up, the strong and the weak.
As Barbados moves to grow its economy, the central bank governor, Cleviston Haynes, is reminding the need for other supporting sectors to complement sugar and international business. Possible areas identified: medical and educational services, gaming, and medicinal cannabis. The recommendation was made during the question and answer segment following the release of the quarterly economic review.
We're not necessarily going to get a sector that is as large as the sugar used to be, but one has to see how, for example, cannabis evolves, because it essentially uses the, if we get into planting and so on, it can use a lot of the acreage, and that itself could grow into an industry that helps us in terms of both economic activity and in terms of foreign exchange earnings.
Well, overall, agriculture, according to the quarterly review, declined by 8% during the first half of the year. Sugar production as well was down by 35%. Governor Haynes doesn't believe Barbados could get back to the glory days when sugar was king, as it has been in decline for some time.
We have to determine what it is that we want from the sugarcane industry, and one has sometimes to make a distinction between the sugarcane industry and the sugar industry, because it may be that you might have to look to see if there's something you can get out of the sugarcane industry other than sugar. Are we going to produce solely for domestic purposes? Right now we are not really exporting any sugar, so it's difficult.
Well, there's a suggestion tonight that discounted bus fares for children be extended to the vacation periods. It comes from President of the Supporting Our Society charity, or SOS, Fabian Sargent. According to him, the recent increase in fares significantly impacted the attendance at this year's SOS Safe Zone summer camp. While they catered for 80 young people, Mr. Sargent says they only got 38. He shared his views at the closing ceremony for that 5-week camp.
You have to acknowledge that young people are usually home for 2 months, technically, in the summer vacation, and they have to access other resources. Parents have to work, and you cannot leave the young people home to do nothing, because the devil finds work for idle hands. We need the youth development to continue, and if that is going to continue in a meaningful way, we need to look at the fact of adjusting bus fares, even in the summer, for young people to access services, because most of these services, while you would like them to be community-based, communities have changed.
Registrar of the Supreme Court, Barbara Cook Allen, also attended the closing ceremony, and she reminded the parents to continue to instill positive values in their children and find creative ways to discipline them.
Discipline is important. We don't advocate today beating the child. We're going to get to the stage someday where it's no longer going to be possible in Barbados and other parts of the world that is so. You need to have other ways to punish your children. One of the best ways is the connectivity to social media. It hurts. It hurts them badly. So when they give in trouble, make that threat, but you have to carry it out at some point in time, parents. You can't just decide, you do this, X can happen, and X never happens, and they don't trust what you say after that.
Health officials are trying to get Barbadians to include more fiber in their diet. This as they push the message of healthier living to help combat the upsurge in chronic non-communicable diseases. Health Promotion Officer in the Ministry of Health and Wellness, Donna Barker, explains that people can get in more fiber if their diet is more plant-based.
Fiber is extremely helpful for a lot of the chronic and the non-communicable diseases that we have plaguing Barbados. We want to get a lot more foods with the fiber, the different types of fiber and so on, that helps with reducing the cholesterol, helps with controlling the blood sugars, and helps to control our weight.
Ms. Barker was invited by the St. David's Anglican Church to help plan refreshment menus for the various church groups when they meet. She encouraged them to monitor their sugar intake, incorporate more water, and stick to small portions.
Plain popcorn is a healthy snack. We don't need it full of syrup or caramel. Fresh fruit salads is another example in small cups of a snack. Granola or granola bars. You have granola loose or granola bars. Fresh vegetable sticks or vegetable pieces with maybe a cheese dip or something.
Well, St. Lucian hospitality workers are facing a significant threat from a powerful industry player. Booking.com, the online booking platform, wants a slice of the service charge paid to workers. The online company is using enormous power and influence to demand the increased payment. Well, the St. Lucia government is standing firm in opposition to that demand.
Bookings.com has requested 15% commission on employee service charge. But Minister of Tourism and Chairman of the Caribbean Tourism Association, Dominic Fede, says he will stand firm in opposition to this.
Well, it's unconscionable that anyone would try to have a commission on employee service charge. I think that those figures should be going to the employees.
The minister says he thinks the request is unreasonable and unethical.
Because not only is it inhumane, but I think it goes against the very good practice of business ethics. And I believe that it is something that needs to be reviewed as quickly as possible.
Fede says he will not support the request by Booking.com. As a matter of fact, he seeks to champion the cause. He says he will do all in his power to oppose the booking agency.